China hid $100 billion worth of nuclear submarines in underground tunnels. America found them in 26 hours using technology Beijing didn't know existed. What happened next changed the balance of power in the Pacific forever. November 6, 2025. Hainan Island, South China Sea. A tropical paradise hiding the world's most advanced underground naval fortress. While tourists sipped cocktails at beachside resorts just 500 feet away, beneath the mountain sat China's crown jewel, the Yulin Naval Base complex, 20 nuclear submarines, hidden in tunnels carved 200 feet into solid rock, protected by 15-foot thick reinforced concrete, invisible to satellites, undetectable to traditional reconnaissance, or so they thought. The facility took 17 years to build. Cost estimates ranged from $80 billion to $120 billion. Engineers moved 47 million cubic meters of rock, created a subterranean city capable of housing China's entire ballistic missile submarine fleet. 6 massive tunnel entrances, each protected by blast doors weighing 340 tons. Inside, a network spanning 12 miles, maintenance bays, weapons storage, command centers, even living quarters for 3,000 personnel. The complex featured degaussing facilities to reduce magnetic signatures, made submarines virtually invisible to anti-submarine warfare aircraft, state-of-the-art air filtration systems, independent power generation, enough supplies to operate independently for 6 months. Chinese military planners believed they'd created an impenetrable fortress. The tunnels could withstand direct hits from conventional bunker-buster bombs. Entrances faced away from likely attack vectors. Camouflage netting and thermal dampening made visual detection nearly impossible. Admiral Chen Wei spoke confidently at a classified briefing in Beijing. The Americans can search for decades. They will find nothing but mountains and beaches. Intelligence reports suggested the U.S. Navy had no idea of the base's true scale. Satellite imagery showed only tourist hotels and commercial ports. Perfect deception. What's your weapon of choice for detecting hidden threats? Type A for satellite reconnaissance. Type B for human intelligence networks. But American intelligence agencies had been watching, not from space, from beneath the waves. The USS Connecticut, a Seawolf-class attack submarine, had been conducting covert operations in the South China Sea since 2019. Armed with sensors the Chinese didn't know existed. Quantum magnetometers capable of detecting minute changes in Earth's magnetic field, the kind of disturbances created by massive underground metal structures, like submarines hidden in mountain tunnels. Seabed seismic arrays dropped by autonomous underwater vehicles, listening for the unique vibrations of submarine machinery, even through hundreds of feet of rock. The breakthrough came at 3:17 a.m. on May 15th. Analysts at the National Security Agency's Hawaii Cryptologic Center noticed something unusual. Seismic data from sensors positioned 40 miles offshore. A pattern, rhythmic, mechanical, the signature of diesel generators running deep underground, cross-referenced with magnetic anomaly data. The readings painted a picture: massive metallic objects, arranged in parallel lines, exactly the configuration you'd expect from submarines in underground piers. Within 4 hours, DARPA's advanced AI systems had processed terabytes of data, synthesizing information from underwater sensors, satellite thermal imaging, and signals intelligence. The AI identified 17 distinct tunnel entrances, mapped the entire underground complex, estimated the number of submarines with 94% accuracy, all without a single spy satellite image. By hour 12, U.S. Indo-Pacific Command had mobilized. P-8 Poseidon aircraft equipped with magnetic anomaly detectors flew precise search patterns, confirming the underground network's exact dimensions. Underwater drones deployed advanced sonar arrays, mapping every tunnel entrance, recording acoustic signatures of machinery deep inside the mountain. The intelligence picture crystallized. 20 Type 094 Jin-class ballistic missile submarines, each carrying 12 JL-3 submarine-launched ballistic missiles, nuclear warheads with a range of 6,200 miles, enough firepower to hit every major U.S. city from Chinese waters. 6 Type 093 Shang-class attack submarines, the most advanced hunter-killers in China's fleet. 48 diesel-electric submarines, the conventional backbone of China's undersea force, all hidden in a fortress the Chinese believed was invisible. The discovery sent shockwaves through the Pentagon. This wasn't just a naval base, it was a strategic nuclear deterrent hidden from view, capable of launching a second strike nuclear attack even if China's land-based missiles were destroyed. The balance of power in the Pacific had shifted, and America had been unaware until now. Admiral Samuel Paparo, commander of U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, convened an emergency meeting. We're looking at the largest concentration of naval power in the Western Pacific, hidden underground, ready to surge at a moment's notice. This changes everything. If you're enjoying this deep dive into modern warfare, take a moment to hit that subscribe button. Strategic planners at U.S. Pacific Fleet Headquarters began wargaming scenarios. How do you neutralize submarines you can't see until they leave their tunnels? Traditional bunker-buster bombs wouldn't penetrate deep enough. The GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator could punch through 200 feet of concrete. But these tunnels went deeper, protected by solid granite mountains. Nuclear options were discussed, rejected immediately. Too much collateral damage, too much risk of escalation. The answer lay not in destruction, but in intelligence dominance. The U.S. Navy implemented Operation Silent Watch, a permanent monitoring network around Hainan Island. Seabed sensor arrays positioned at every tunnel exit, recording the acoustic signature of every submarine that left the base. Virginia-class attack submarines rotated on station, tracking every Chinese boat that ventured into open water. P-8 Poseidon aircraft maintained constant patrol, dropping sonobuoys to create an underwater surveillance net 200 miles wide. Advanced satellites equipped with synthetic aperture radar monitored surface activity, tracking support vessels, recording patterns of movement, building a complete picture of Chinese naval operations. But what they didn't know was that American intelligence had achieved something even more remarkable. The quantum sensors had done more than locate submarines. They'd mapped the entire tunnel network in 3 dimensions, identified choke points, weak spots in the ventilation system, critical infrastructure nodes. Target packages were prepared, not for immediate strikes, for contingency planning. If conflict erupted, America would know exactly where to hit, how to trap submarines inside their supposedly impregnable fortress. The underwater sensor network did more than detect. It identified. Each submarine had a unique acoustic signature, the specific harmonics of its propeller, the frequency pattern of its machinery, like a fingerprint. U.S. analysts could now track individual boats, know which captain commanded which vessel, predict deployment patterns based on historical behavior. Chinese naval operations continued, unaware of the monitoring net. Submarines departed on patrol. American sensors tracked them from tunnel exit to open ocean. Attack submarines shadowed their movements, recording detailed signatures for future reference. The intelligence bonanza was unprecedented. Every training exercise became an opportunity to learn. Every deployment revealed Chinese tactics and capabilities. Data flowed to the Office of Naval Intelligence. Analysts built comprehensive profiles, identified weaknesses in Chinese operating procedures, noted patterns in deployment schedules, mapped communication protocols. The strategic implications became clear. China's hidden submarine fleet was no longer hidden. Every boat could be tracked, every movement monitored. The element of surprise had evaporated. American attack submarines could pre-position themselves, waiting for Chinese boats to exit their tunnels. In a conflict scenario, Chinese submarines would face ambushes the moment they reached open water. The carefully constructed fortress had become a trap. Naval war games tested the scenarios. Chinese submarines surged from Yulin Base, met by a gauntlet of American attack submarines and anti-submarine aircraft, torpedo attacks from multiple vectors, anti-submarine rockets from P-8 aircraft overhead, surface ships armed with vertical launch anti-submarine systems. The simulation results were sobering. For China, 70% of submarines engaged before they could effectively deploy. The underground fortress had created a bottleneck. Limited exit points meant concentrated defensive fire. The very security that made the base attractive became a vulnerability. This kind of detailed tactical breakdown takes hours to research. Subscribe to help us keep making them. By hour 26, the intelligence picture was complete. U.S. Strategic Command had updated its threat assessments. War plans incorporated the new intelligence. Targeting data distributed to attack submarines. The discovery remained classified. Operational security demanded silence. Revealing America's surveillance capabilities would prompt China to develop countermeasures. Better to maintain the advantage. Watch, learn, prepare. The technology that made this possible represented a revolution in submarine detection. Quantum magnetometers exploited principles of quantum mechanics, measuring magnetic fields with unprecedented precision. Traditional magnetometers detected submarines at ranges of a few hundred meters. Quantum sensors extended that range to several kilometers, even through rock and water. The sensors measured infinitesimal changes in magnetic field strength, fluctuations caused by large metallic objects. The Earth's natural magnetic field served as a baseline. Any distortion revealed the presence of submarines, even deep underground. The system combined multiple sensor types. Seismic arrays detected vibrations from machinery. Acoustic sensors recorded sound propagating through rock. Thermal imaging identified heat signatures from ventilation systems. AI algorithms synthesized the data, creating a comprehensive picture of underground activity. Development had taken 12 years, cost $4.7 billion. Classified programs run by DARPA and the Office of Naval Research, field testing in controlled environments, then covert deployment in operational theaters. The South China Sea provided the perfect laboratory. Chinese submarine activity created abundant targets for testing. The system proved its worth, not just finding the base, but mapping it in extraordinary detail. Intelligence analysts could identify individual rooms inside the complex, track movement of personnel through tunnels, monitor power consumption patterns. The level of intelligence penetration was total. What would you have done when discovering this massive underground fortress? Comment your answer below. Chinese military leadership remained oblivious, confident in their fortress's security. Submarines continued normal operations, training exercises, patrol deployments, maintenance cycles. American intelligence documented everything, building a database of operational patterns. The knowledge advantage translated to strategic leverage. In diplomatic negotiations, U.S. officials could hint at capabilities without revealing specifics. Deterring aggressive actions through implied threat, the message was clear. America sees everything. Your secrets aren't secret. Your fortress isn't impregnable. Don't assume technological superiority. The discovery also revealed Chinese strategic thinking. The massive investment in underground facilities showed their priorities: survivability of nuclear forces, ability to conduct sustained operations in a conflict. The base could support submarine operations for months without resupply, protected from conventional attack, designed to ensure China's nuclear deterrent remained viable, even under sustained assault. This reflected Chinese military doctrine: emphasize defensive capabilities, create redundancy in critical systems, ensure second strike capability to deter nuclear attack. The underground fortress was a defensive measure, not offensive, but the concentration of forces created offensive potential. 20 ballistic missile submarines could launch 240 nuclear warheads, coverage of the entire Western Pacific, plus the continental United States. That capability couldn't be ignored. American strategic planners updated their assessments. The Taiwan contingency plans incorporated new intelligence. If China moved against Taiwan, these submarines would play a crucial role, providing nuclear umbrella for invasion forces, deterring U.S. intervention with threat of strategic strike. Knowing their location and capabilities changed the calculus. Attack submarines could neutralize the threat, preventing Chinese submarines from reaching launch positions. The balance of power shifted back toward America, not through military action, through intelligence dominance. The monitoring network expanded. Additional sensor arrays deployed throughout the South China Sea. Coverage extended to other Chinese naval bases: Qingdao on the Yellow Sea, Ningbo on the East China Sea. The comprehensive picture of Chinese submarine forces continued growing. Every base monitored, every submarine tracked. The intelligence advantage compounded over time. More data meant better predictive models, more accurate threat assessments, more effective countermeasures. By August 2024, 3 months after the initial discovery, U.S. intelligence had cataloged the complete Chinese submarine order of battle. 79 submarines total, locations known, capabilities documented, operational patterns mapped. The Chinese Navy's underwater service had been thoroughly penetrated, not through human spies, not through cyber espionage, through physics and mathematics, sensors and algorithms. Technology Chinese planners hadn't anticipated. The kind of breakthrough that changes the strategic landscape, makes old assumptions obsolete, forces adversaries to rethink their entire approach. Support the channel by giving this video a thumbs up if you found it valuable. The lesson for China was harsh. Underground bases aren't invisible if your adversary has the right sensors. Massive infrastructure projects can be mapped from the outside. Acoustic signatures travel through rock. Magnetic anomalies reveal hidden metal. Technology evolves faster than concrete hardens. What seemed secure in 2007 when construction began was transparent by 2024. The 17-year project had been compromised in 26 hours of focused intelligence gathering. For the United States, the lesson was different. Investment in advanced sensors pays dividends. AI-driven analysis transforms raw data into actionable intelligence. Multi-domain surveillance creates comprehensive pictures. No single sensor type would have found the base, but combining quantum magnetometers, seismic arrays, acoustic sensors, thermal imaging, and signals intelligence created an intelligence mosaic, each piece contributing to the whole. The system wasn't cheap, but the intelligence value far exceeded the cost. Knowing the location and capabilities of China's submarine fleet provided strategic advantage worth trillions in deterrence value. The discovery also highlighted the importance of maintaining technological edge. Chinese planners had built their fortress using 2000s-era assumptions about detection capabilities. They hadn't anticipated quantum sensors, hadn't imagined AI could synthesize disparate data sources into coherent intelligence, hadn't understood how far underwater sensor technology had advanced. That failure of imagination cost them their strategic surprise. The submarines were still formidable weapons, but the element of stealth had been stripped away. In submarine warfare, stealth is everything. Without it, submarines become targets. The strategic balance in the Pacific shifted quietly. No dramatic announcements, No public confrontations, just a silent recalibration of power. China's hidden fleet wasn't hidden anymore. America's technological advantage had reasserted itself. The competition continued, but on terms more favorable to U.S. interests. Chinese military modernization would continue. New submarines would be built, different hiding places sought. But the lesson had been learned. In modern warfare, there are no permanent hiding places. Technology sees through mountains. Sensors detect the invisible. Intelligence dominance matters more than firepower. Was this discovery a triumph of American ingenuity, or a warning about the escalating tech race? Leave your thoughts in the comments. The underground fortress still stands. Submarines still operate from its tunnels. But the veil of secrecy has been lifted. Every movement watched, every deployment tracked. The fortress has become a fishbowl, transparent to those with eyes to see. That transparency changes everything. Chinese admirals can no longer assume surprise. American commanders can plan with certainty. The balance has shifted. Knowledge is power. Intelligence is strength. And in this case, America's investment in next-generation sensor technology paid off with the most valuable commodity in modern warfare: information. The discovery of China's underground submarine fortress proves an eternal truth. No secret stays secret forever. No fortress remains impregnable. Technology evolves. Adversaries adapt. What seems invisible today becomes transparent tomorrow. The nations that invest in the tools of tomorrow fight with advantage. Those who rely on yesterday's assumptions fight from weakness. In the Indo-Pacific, that lesson has been learned. America's message to potential adversaries is clear. We see you. We track you. We understand your capabilities better than you think. Don't mistake our patience for ignorance. Don't confuse our restraint with weakness. The balance of power rests not just on ships and submarines, but on the intelligence that guides them. If you made it this far, you're the core of our community. What surprised you most about this operation? How do you think China will respond to having their secret base exposed? Should the U.S. have revealed this capability or kept it classified? Your engagement directly shapes what we cover next. Drop a comment and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our next deep dive into modern military technology and strategy. The competition between great powers continues. The tools change, the stakes rise, but the fundamental truth remains. Knowledge is the ultimate weapon, and in this round, America held the advantage.